Here we are. We're flipping the mic around. We've talked a lot about raising kids and our family and running a business and being athletes. But today we bring our youngest Ava in and she gets to tell us what she thinks so far. How are you feeling about this?
You have to have thick skin to be in this family, and Ava's one of those reasons.
Why is she, do you think, why would you describe her that way?
She's bold. She's funny. She's unfiltered. She's also a fellow Enneagram 8.
Which we affectionately call 8 holes.
And we are 8 holes together. Then she also has a 3 for a parent. So yeah, we've had a combo, and Ava's had a seat for it all.
I love it. Well, as you know, I love data. And did you know only 3% of U.S. families have 4+ kids? And youngest children are more likely to describe themselves as independent, outspoken, and overlooked.
There's no way you would describe yourself as overlooked, do you? No.
And
I think that's a misnomer for Miss Ava.
And we do need to do our Enneagram episode soon, but Enneagram 8s make up about 15% of the population and are often early leaders. What do you think about that, Ava? Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell the audience who you are.
I'm Ava. I'm the youngest. I'm gonna be a sophomore at the University of Iowa.
Go Hawks.
Woohoo! Go Hawks.
On Iowa.
Go Hawkeyes.
I got it right.
Happy to be here.
Life isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. And along the way, we all stumble, learn, and keep going.
Welcome to Running Ahrens, a podcast about navigating marriage, parenting, business, faith, and all the unexpected detours that come along with it.
We're Justin and Sarah Ahrens, partners in life, business, and raising 4 incredible kids.
For over 30 years, we've been figuring things out as we go. Sometimes successfully, and sometimes, well, not so much.
But that's the beauty of hindsight. We're here to share the lessons we've learned, the wins, the failures, and the moments that have shaped us.
Through honest conversations, special guests, and maybe even a few stories from our kids, we'll explore what it really takes to grow, adapt, and move forward.
So whether you're running a business, a household, or just running late,
you're in the right place. Let's do this together.
We're glad you're here. Welcome to Running Ahrens.
I'm a little nervous.
Ooh, why are you nervous?
Because I have no idea what to expect, what we're going to chat about.
That's on purpose. We want to be real authentic. You're into your reality show. What's your current binging show that you're obsessed with?
I recommend to all Love Island, USA, to be exact.
Why Love Island USA?
All my friends were super into it, and I was like, no, reality TV, trash. I still think it's trash, but last season season 6 was just like the greatest reality TV, I think, ever. It's the only one I watched. And I just got really obsessed with it, and then now I'm watching this season, and it's just full of drama. And when all you do is work and hang out with your family, sometimes you want a little bit of drama. So
you're saying our family's not dramatic?
No, well, not so far. Not
Love Island dramatic?
Yeah, not Love Island.
Okay, so let's just start here. How would you describe, and what was it like being the youngest of 4 in a loud, opinionated, vocal family?
You learn early on to establish yourself, who you are, especially being the youngest. And I feel like coming out the room sassy.
You did come out of the womb sassy.
With a lot of opinions. I feel like that was something that was easy for me, because especially being the youngest and having your brothers. I know I have a sister too, but I grew up around mostly Quinn, which is one of my older brothers. And so you really have to be able to hold your ground and, like you said, have thick skin. So you have to come out banging, always have a comeback.
Always have the last word.
Yeah, always have that last word, last laugh. Just always have to bring the energy. There's not a dull moment in this house.
Well, share with me how, as the 4th, how's your relationship changed over the years with your different siblings? Because the boys are in the middle, Mackenzie being the oldest, you're the two farthest away age-wise. Has that evolved over time?
I would say growing up for sure, from day one, me and Quinn have always been two peas in a pod, done everything together. We were into the same sports. We grew up playing sports together, actually. We played basketball together for a few years.
That was the best.
Do you remember when I did football camp for 2 years?
You did do
That
Bulldog.
that was Quinn's idea.
football?
It was the youth bulldog football
Yeah,
camp.
it had a special name, but yeah, you were one of the only 3 girls in the whole thing.
Yeah, it was Quinn's idea actually for me to do it because we would always play football and he was like, you should just do the camp. So I'd say growing up for sure was Quinn. Growing up, me and Jackson had an interesting relationship. We're just so alike that we butted heads when we were little children. I'm very outspoken, and when Jackson was growing up, he was about certain things, but
He's very black and white.
Yeah. yeah, and I feel like growing up, me and him especially were pretty opposite to one another in the way that we operated. And me and Mackenzie, obviously having sisters, I feel you just already immediately are close, especially having 2 brothers and then me being the youngest and her being the oldest. Immediately we gravitated towards one another.
But you guys are 6 years apart. Well, 5.5, but 6 school years. I remember when I was pregnant with you and I found out you were a girl, I was super excited for Mackenzie to have a sister. And then I was sad because I was thinking, they're never going to be friends because Kenzie's going to leave when you're in whatever, 7th grade.
I was in 7th grade. Yeah.
And I was like, they're never going to be friends. And now look at you two. You might as well be Siamese twins.
I would say growing up, we had our bumps, but then COVID is what changed it all. Now I would say Mackenzie's my best friend in the entire world. I would spend every second with her if I could.
And you guys have a language, literally.
Yeah.
You and Quinn used to when you were little.
Yeah.
Because he sucked his thumb and so did you. And you would both be able to talk to each other even while sucking your thumb.
Do you think we parented you differently than your siblings?
Yeah.
How?
I couldn't give you exact examples, but I just feel as though when I say this, I don't mean about everything, but I felt you in a way loosened the reins a bit on some things. Especially, I feel when it came to, this is like gonna make you sound like you guys punished us a lot, but punishments were always the same. If we got in trouble for, I don't know, when I was a child, I had a lying problem.
Oh my gosh.
I had a lying problem and I would lie about the things that I didn't need to lie about. And we would all get punished the same then. That's just what I remember. I would always get my iPod taken away.
Well, hold on. We got to tell the one story. Was it the hair one?
Yeah. So Ava, for some reason, was blessed with this mane of hair. I don't know where it came from. It's thick. It's beautiful. I'm very covetous of it. But she got a haircut. We cut it a little bit shorter when she was probably, was this 1st, 2nd, 3rd? It was early.
I was young.
And she put her hair up in a ponytail, and I noticed the back had these short hairs. And I said, Ava, did you cut your hair? No. I'm like, are you sure? It really looks like you cut your hair back there. No, Mom, I did not cut my hair.
And she was adamant.
She was angry at me for even thinking it was possible.
How dare you not believe me?
And then some time later, I don't know the time frame, I was in her room cleaning up the pit of what it was because you were
I was at a birthday party.
And I was cleaning under your bed and I found a pile of hair under your bed. And I took a picture of it and sent it to you or showed it to you. I don't remember which one it was. And I was like, oh, you didn't cut your hair? And you said, I told you I cut my hair. You were gaslighting me before I knew what gaslighting was.
Yeah.
And I was, why are you even lying about this? This is a really silly thing to lie about. But you did get in trouble.
Well, looking back at that time, can you articulate why you felt you had to do that or why that showed up for you? Do you remember?
Like my lying issues?
Yeah.
I have no idea. There are times where, because now I can't lie. I actually can't lie. I don't know if as a child I need to get all my lies out or something to make me a very honest adult. It was just something I always think back to that time. I would lie about the most random things ever.
Was it to avoid being in trouble?
Yeah, but then I always wanted to avoid getting in trouble. But at that age, I still understood that if I lied, I'd get into more trouble. So I understood that either way I would have. I think in those situations, it was kind of lose-lose. I was getting in trouble either way.
So give us another example of how we parented you different or loosen the reins. And did you all talk about it?
Oh, yeah. They talk about it all the time. Well, I was the youngest one to get a phone.
You got it at the youngest age.
Yes.
Yes.
I got it at the youngest age. So I guess not in ways you like parented me, because I feel we all were parented the same way, but I feel in some areas that I feel I was the youngest one to it's gonna sound bad. I'm the favorite child or something.
You do think you are the favorite
I was like
child.
the youngest one to get things.
Social media.
I got Snapchat on my 8th grade birthday, and Quinn lost his mind thinking he didn't get it, but you're welcome, Quinn. This is my observation.
What we want.
I always thought that it's because I was the most trustworthy kid. This is why I always thought that, oh, I'm just doing so great that I get all these things. Now that I'm older, I realize that it's because I am the youngest that I get these things is because I've learned from watching.
Well, let's talk about the trustworthiness part for a second. There is some validity to that.
We also learned how to set up parameters around some of the things. Do you remember our Snapchat contract?
Yeah, you had a Snapchat contract. I used to have screen time limits.
Now, we'll talk about this later because I know some of your siblings worked the system and broke our rules with other different inventive ways. What are some ways that you potentially broke some of our rules that maybe you don't even know about?
Oh, at the beginning of COVID, when you guys still made us put our phones downstairs, I used to use my old iPod. But that's the only inventive way I've gotten around. Because at the beginning of COVID, you guys still made us plug in our devices downstairs.
Well, let's talk about that.
I hated that.
No, but we've never talked about that. So, Sarah, why don't you frame up what we made the kids do back then?
At that time, Kenzie and Jack were in college. No, Jackson wasn't. I don't know why we
It
didn't.
was Jackson. It was his senior year of high school is when you started doing it.
I think I started talking to some friends and we talked about how the kids had free reign of having their phones and I was bound and determined to get control of that. So I just announced, not Kenzie because she was in college, but the other three, I made them plug their phones in our bedroom at 10 p.m. And it was a fight every night. I had to ask, but we did that.
No, at the beginning you had to ask, but then we saw how much trouble we would get in if we were late or didn't do it. So we were just like, might as well just do it.
And do you have any understanding of why we were trying to do that?
I mean, yeah, I feel like we were so new and into our technology, we probably just been on it so much. But then again, I think back to it and I've always loved my sleep.
But if I remember right, the boys would stay up super late.
That was when they were both super into YouTube and watching people play video games on YouTube. So they could do that for hours and hours and hours.
And I honestly was trying to protect you guys from being plugged in and also exposing you to things you shouldn't see and be part of. And I don't regret that. I wish I would have, I don't know, done it differently maybe. I don't know. Phones have always been a struggle. And I feel like that's because we're the first generation of parents who have kids that have had them their whole lives.
Because you don't ever remember not having Apple or whatever in your life, right? iPhones, social
Or
media.
a computer to get on or...
Yeah, because even before I got my own iPad or anything, we had the big Mac in the kitchen that I would play Animal Jam on.
Yeah, so for those listening, at the time we had a family iMac that was down in the kitchen, and we just wanted to make sure that we had framework for our kids to, not find something an accident or go exploring and go down a rabbit hole, which is really part of the reason why we did the phones, if I remember right, because we had some concerns about the boys potentially getting onto things that we don't want them to watch yet because they were too young.
Just the boys.
Well, because the boys and I had conversations about it.
I know I was beaten. I was calling you a sexist.
I know you were.
Oh, yeah.
And I appreciate that. So if you can try to segment time and think about when you were younger, let's say junior high or younger, What was your perception of our parenting you versus other kids' parents?
I always thought, and I was always told that always since day one that I had chill parents. That I was the
Really?
one that had like the chill parents.
Did you agree with that sentiment?
Yes, I actually did. But I always thought when people said that they have chill parents that not that they don't care, but I don't like when you call them like chill because I want them also to know that you guys still parent me because I
Thank
feel like
you for protecting our reputation.
no, because I feel sometimes when people hear, oh, you have chill parents, it's, oh, they let you do whatever the hell you want and they don't care. I wouldn't say you guys are strict. I'd be like, well, they still have rules. Because I remember they'd be like, oh, your parents are so chill, they have no rules. I'm like, y'all, we got rules.
That's interesting because I thought we were the uptight parents.
No. Well, at least from when it was me. Maybe you guys were before me, but all I always remember is for me at least, I remember you guys were.
We were probably more chill with you than we were with Mackenzie, but there were other extenuating circumstances for that. So,
Yeah.
for another episode. And, okay, you're the youngest child. What is a stereotype about that that actually fits you? And one that you are not at all like the youngest about?
I would have to say that the whole stereotype is that the youngest child is spoiled. It's true. I fit that to a T. I fit that to a T. But here's the thing. Yes, I'm sassy, but I don't want to say that I'm spoiled and bratty.
That's fair.
I would not say, don't look at her like that. I would not say
You had some bratty times.
when I was growing up, but I would say now, like, people say that they stay spoiled and bratty their whole life, but I would say that I've grown out of my brattiness.
I would agree with that.
I would agree with that too. But the reason I looked at mom and I was laughing is because when we said that we were going to start with Mackenzie and go from the oldest to the youngest, you're like, heck no, go youngest to oldest. And look, here you are,
Yeah.
the first one.
Okay, what's one that you don't fit? Like a stereotype of a youngest.
I don't know. Can you give me some examples?
I would say one that comes to mind for me is that sometimes the youngest wait around and have people do things for them.
Oh, no, 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 no. I would say I don't fit that one. The youngest is spoiled in a way where everything was done for them. I would say what Dad said at the beginning is that we're very independent. I would say that I fit that one, and also I don't think I'm overlooked either.
You wouldn't allow for such shenanigans.
No.
Well, let's shift into a different topic. So we recently did a episode about the fact that mom and I felt we were crazy sports parents.
Did you listen to the episode?
I did. I didn't finish it, but I listened to it.
Honest.
And one of the things that we talked about was a stat that really was interesting to mom and I is that 70% of kids quit sports by 13.
Yep.
And one of the top reasons is parental pressure. And with that pressure, kids are 3 times more likely to walk away from sports. So what kind of sports parents, if you're to just kind of generalize, were we to you?
I would say, his was love. You guys were definitely crazy sports parents. Definitely were.
Fair. That's part of, we're owning it. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm a recovering crazy sports parent.
Yeah, but I would say, like you guys said in the episode, you guys always looked at other parents and thought like, oh, at least we aren't as bad as them. And I would say that it was just like one of those things where I always thought that you guys were just very passionate and were very excited. I never felt until see, when you guys say crazy, I don't want you guys to think that I always felt you guys were pressuring me because at least for me, I was always super into sports.
Yeah, for me, because my perception of us parenting you as sports parents was there's a few times we had to push you, but it felt more like we were trying to slow you down because I think there was moments where I think you took on too much and we wanted to give you that option.
Well, let's back up and just frame this a little bit. You were the youngest, so you got to be on the sidelines for all the other kids' stuff.
Yeah.
Before you were really into it yourself.
Yeah.
What do you have memories of those times and like what you're thinking and how that affected you?
I remember growing up going to my brother's lacrosse games because I remember just because I then later on had soccer practices in the same places. And I always remember the field house at the high school because we would watch Mackenzie's summer league. I remember that. I remember, Mom, you don't remember this.
You don't know that, maybe.
Me playing t-ball. You don't
I have no memory. None.
There are literally pictures of me on a t-ball team.
Saw your coach.
This.
Okay, yeah.
I
thought that
have
was your coach.
like nothing.
I think I coached every child at least in one sport.
You coached me in t-ball for a year.
I only think you played for a year.
Yeah. Because then I was like, no, ma'am.
Was that here in Batavia?
In Sonoma.
Oh, but you were little then. Oh, gosh. Okay, do you remember thinking that you wanted to play sports? Did you want to be part of it? When did that athlete awaken?
I would say, I don't know. I would have to ask you guys, did any of my siblings play soccer?
The boys played soccer. And Kenzie.
Everyone plays soccer.
No, Kenzie never.
I would say that
Yes, she did.
my athlete awakened, not really like on the sidelines, but the second a soccer ball was placed in front of me.
I will counteract that to you. The first year you played soccer, when you were.
No, listen.
No, I'm going to tell you about a very specific memory. This is how we operate, people. This is me and Eva's banter. The first year you played is when we moved to Batavia, but we were too late to sign up for Tri-City, so you went back and played Caneland, and Mr. Lundberg was your coach.
I don't remember that.
And he was so excited because he's like, she's going to be an animal. She's such a crazy. And you wouldn't run. You wouldn't go after the ball.
Yes, but then I
But that was just 1 year.
that was 1 year. And then the next year, I think I
Figured
was
it
just
out.
being stubborn.
That's weird. That's weird. All right. Well, I want to talk about some specific memories that I have to see if you remember them the same way. And you need to have one too.
Oh, don't tell me what to do.
All right. You ready?
Mm.
There were several times where we played basketball out in the driveway. It was like you, me, and your
I
brothers.
just played 21.
And we played 21, and there would be some massive fights. Do you remember those?
Was she part of the fights?
Yeah, I remember one time we played in Arizona, and I got really lippy with you and made you cry.
Yes. I remember, but Kenzie played sports for a little bit, but she would always watch us, but she would never really want to join in. So I would always be playing with the boys, especially my brothers. And like I said, Quinn. And let me just tell you, Quinn is the worst person to play sports against out of all the siblings.
Why is
And
that?
I would rather play against my dad every single day of every single year for the rest of my life instead of Quinn. Because Quinn will just get personal. And that's what I think that's what Dad did in Arizona. He just got personal and starts hounding you about actually your skills and ability. And it's like you go just, wow, this is getting personal. But Quinn, he gets personal, and Quinn's just good at everything when it comes to basketball and football and stuff like that, even when he is broken. And he's always been super strong. And obviously he's really tall. So he would just block me and
Yeah, we wouldn't allow you to play that. I couldn't block you. I was like, no, if you're playing against them.
but he just gets personal and he's just the worst. How old was I in Arizona when that happened?
You were pretty young, but I remember Quinn and I were talking smack to each other, which normally is the undoing of all of our family arrangements. And for whatever reason, I'd not played for a while, but I was heating up, and I think you were on my team. I can't remember why specifically, but I do remember walking off the court, making you cry, feeling like a total turd.
I don't know, probably because you didn't pass me the ball or something.
You're
All
like,
right.
no, I got it. So what's my memory of you?
Well, I was going to say, what was the year that Mom coached you in basketball with Miss Jill? What was that like?
I don't even know if there's like words to describe it. Mom, don't make that face. Just because of like where I was as a basketball player, especially mentally when it came to the sport, I was not in any capacity to have my mother be able to coach me and be able to like reciprocate anything she said to me. And also at the time, Miss Jill was my best friend at the time. That was her mom. So it was like my two mothers coaching me. And at that age, well, still not very good at it. But my big thing, I'll admit to it, probably my biggest fatal flaw is I cannot accept constructive criticism or criticism at all.
I'm so proud of you. So
Thanks.
proud of you.
I can't accept it like at all. And especially when I was younger and when it came to basketball, I was very stubborn. And I didn't.
Oh, you'd get so angry.
I would get angry, screaming at my mom in front of everyone, no shame. Yeah, that was pretty ugly. And I wasn't saying there was no words to describe it because of you. I was saying we were both at fault there. I was just as terrible as you were.
I think you were worse.
Probably. Mom, I was in fifth grade.
Was it fifth or sixth? I'm like, no, sixth.
Were you too intense of a coach?
Oh my gosh. I took a level of intensity to that and more so expectation.
Well, okay. Before we move on from sports, I want to ask about one particular moment that I shared. You were playing basketball, and I don't know if you had a bad attitude. I remember there was a moment where you had just the worst body language.
My body language was a big thing too.
And I remember I got so frustrated. I walked down the stands and met you at half court and reamed you out. Do you remember that?
I don't. Maybe I had like trauma blocks that on my brain.
Trauma blocks. Okay. Well, I just wanted to make sure that I brought it up so when you go to therapy, you can thank me for that.
I don't remember that. Like, are you sure it was me?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
What was it when I played for M14?
No, it was for Batavia and I walked down.
It was when
It's when I played for Batavia?
Yeah.
No,
Like middle school.
No, it was
like high school.
No, it was when Miss Dill was your coach alone before I helped coach with
And I didn't know her yet. And here I come down as a big Jackmo and ream you a new one.
This is before Mom was my coach.
Oh, yeah.
I was in what, 4th grade?
Yeah. I read you the riot act. Yeah, I know. Hey,
You read me the riot act?
yeah, I was like,
But it wasn't about your skill, it was about your attitude and like how you were sitting on the bench and like you were
sulking. And I
Yeah.
was just like, you should be grateful that you can go out here and do this. And
Wow.
yeah, you're welcome.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a conversation, he and I, after that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to switch gears. And you're kind of an Enneagram 3 and 8. You and I kind of have that same thing, but I think we're more 8s than 3s.
I know what you guys
You're 100% our 8s. Don't even start
8s
this.
are challengers. You have strong social justice feelings. You kind of fight for the underdog, but also you don't like being told what to do.
How does this feel so far? Does this feel pretty
You
accurate?
just gave me a high five while
Okay.
you were just listening. And your dad's a 3. So he's all about performance, ambition, success, how you appear to the world.
I want people to like me,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
But he's not like you. He wants people to think you're really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we started Rule 29 before you were born.
Mm-hmm.
So you came into the world of Rule 29. And what did it feel like growing up in a house where the family business was ever present?
I remember when I was younger, I always really liked the creative monkey hats. And so, like, just like what I remember, this is like thinking about that business. Whenever I see that little logo, it just reminds me of when I was a little kid. I think that's one thing. And I always just thought that you guys just really liked working together. It was just like, ooh, big family working together all the time.
Did you know when I or Mom was stressed out about the business, or did you ever have any sense of that? Because I know we constantly felt that perhaps we brought the business reality too much into our family.
Sometimes I would say when things got stressful, definitely you could tell. But I could only tell that stuff was going on like when you guys were on like business trips. That's really all. Because I was so young, I didn't really understand. It became less prominent in my life, like gotten older. Not less prominent. It's just like
Well, you also reap the rewards. I mean, you got to go to the Golden State Warrior game with one of my clients where we sat on the court. You were able to help set up that design show at Notre Dame. So we got to play football on Notre Dame's field.
When I thought about the work, when I experienced it, I always experienced the perks of it. Take an example of these in the past, most recent years, going on those trips to the Bahamas, Aruba. That's what I liked about work. But then
Again, reaping the benefits of being the youngest.
yeah, that's true. That's true. But
Did you ever think it was different? Did you have any noticing that like your parents were owners versus maybe some of your other friends' parents were
Yes,
employees? And like what did
because
that look like?
the reason why is because I remember when my friends would come to like the old house that you guys used to have, like Rule 29 house.
Oh,
Our
gosh.
office, yeah.
That's when I understood that I was like, oh, they like own a business because this was your house, because I remember sometimes you guys would be there during the weekend cleaning it, and I remember being helping you weed or something, or we help you clean up the garage or stuff like
decorate
that.
for Christmas.
Yes, like the white Christmas tree. Yeah, I remember stuff like that, or going there and meeting you guys there when Kenzie was older and going to get dinner with. So that's when I understood, and I feel like that kind of felt like an extension of home.
So you don't have bad memories of it?
No, especially growing up, I really enjoyed going to the office and seeing you guys.
And you also knew a lot of the employees.
Yeah. I knew a lot of
From my perspective, at times I struggled a lot with my travel and speaking and all that sort of thing. Although I loved it, I knew I was sacrificing. Was there a time when you were growing up that you felt that I wasn't around or what?
I was gonna say that when I was in middle school, earlier, I felt there was like a period, I wouldn't say like a whole year, but where I felt like this isn't trying to make you feel bad.
You're not gonna make me feel bad at all.
That it was like sometimes it felt like you were always gone. It was just mom, and I remember.
It felt that way to mom too.
It did. It really did.
Yeah, I was so young that I don't really remember where you were going, but I knew it was always for work. So I was going to say before, that was the only time I didn't like work, because I remember thinking Dad's always gone. But it was only for a short period of time.
When Dad and I started traveling together for work, you weren't a big fan of that.
No, I did not.
No, you did not.
And I feel that was because I was always used to, if one of you guys were gone, the other one was there.
And I was rarely gone.
You were rarely ever gone.
All right, so this is a part of the show that Mom and I are experimenting and are really interested in. And we are looking for straight vulnerability. So make sure you understand that this show is for other parents out there, ones who have had maybe similar experiences, have 1 child, 4 child, 8 children, whoever. And you're not going to hurt our feelings. We are giving you
the safety net.
Safety net. Tell us things that you felt we were either terrible at as parents, and then what are some things that you thought you would want to, if you are a parent in the future, you'd want to emulate or do as well?
Huh.
And don't worry, we're going to ask all your siblings the same question, so you're not going to be the only one dropping bombs.
I would say...
I'm actually kind of pleased that nothing's like jumping off the plate for you. Like, oh, this is totally.
Well, shouldn't you just be making a long list? We don't know.
Oh, that's true.
No, I would say, well, okay, here's my thing. Since being the youngest, I wouldn't say I learned how to cover things up, but I just saw the way that my siblings would get in trouble for things, and I just learned, it's going to sound so bad. That I saw the way my siblings got in trouble for things, so I knew not to do those things. But I feel like the only thing that I always have thought that you guys are maybe not very good at is how you guys used to discipline your children.
Oh, specifically?
Well, the situation that involves Mackenzie and Quinn.
Oh.
When they were both in deep shit together. That situation, I remember... It's going to come out straight like a ball. I remember telling both of them that in that moment, I did not, this is going to be like crazy for me to say out loud with you guys right here. I did not recognize the way my mother was acting.
Oh, I was hot.
Yeah, and I remember that.
Well, let me just frame it up a little bit. Quinn and Mackenzie had each done something that Mom and I at the time, were very against.
Yes.
And we found out about it, and it kind of came out in a way that felt like we were being deceived.
Yeah,
and you were out of town,
and
I found it out by myself, and I.
So Mom called me. Mom called me, and she wasn't at level 10. She was at a level 10,000.
Yeah.
And so I got on the phone and just dropped A-bombs everywhere.
Yeah, and I just remember when there was like this, there wasn't like recurrent situations where stuff like this happened, but I feel like when big things happened where like we like got in trouble, I feel like sometimes you guys just started at like 1,000,000. You guys could have just started here and then.
Oh no, we were scorched earth all the way.
Yeah, you guys were.
Now, why do you? Okay, and again, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not saying we handled it well or not well. one of the things that we talk about sometimes after moments like that where we're laying in bed or having coffee talking about it, one thing we've always wondered is, do you guys realize that the reason we absolutely lost our minds is because we felt unbelievably hurt and disappointed and frustrated?
Yeah, and I feel like that makes sense. And I feel like the reason why I didn't understand is because like the whole time, like I knew what was going on. It's just like, why guys so deceived? But then I was like, wait. But I think I remember is I was in the shower and you busted in my bathroom while I was in the shower. Do you remember that?
And I asked you if you knew.
And I was like, yes. I just like peeked my head out of the shower.
I think the biggest thing for me, there's probably a couple reasons why I blew up. For one, I don't know if it's embarrassed is the right word, but I was shocked that that this level of deception had happened for me. I felt I really knew what was going on. So I felt, oh my gosh, if they're doing this, what else are they doing that I don't know about?
I'm just saying.
And you have to understand from a parent perspective, when your kids break trust, you want to make sure they understand the ramifications of that.
Yeah, I remember this one time I got in trouble. I don't remember what I did. Oh. I was having a sleepover and it was one of the times where I snuck my phone in, passed it, and I remember you told me that like broke your trust, and I just remember hearing that was just, wow, that's terrible.
Mom and I are really proud. I think this is true, and you can confirm this, that the 6 of us, but specifically the 4 of you, are super tight. Mm-hmm. And I think our hope is when we're, long gone, that you guys stay tight for the rest of your lives. What is the benefit of you guys being tight, and what's the downside? Because to me, it feels like at times you would cover things up for each other. And I wondered if that was ever a struggle for you. If you knew one of your siblings was doing something that we would be pissed off about, did you struggle with not telling us?
I won't get into like specifics of it, but growing up, there were certain things that, well, obviously being the youngest, I just knew everything. Was I a big tattler when I was younger?
No.
See, I just feel from day one, I just wasn't really the biggest tattler. And also I saw like snitches get stitches, stuff like that.
Right.
And especially I was with the boys so much that I saw if one of them told on one another, they would,
Well, I didn't really encourage tattletelling because if you guys would whine and cry to me about someone hurt me, and I would say things, unless there's blood or a bone poking out, figure it out.
Yeah. So,
I don't know if it's the best, but it worked.
Well, I mean, our point was to make sure you guys worked it out yourselves, and if it got out of control, we'd step in.
Yeah, and I feel like we always were able to figure our own stuff out. And so the 4 of us as a unit confided in one another. And I feel like when it came to certain things, especially at a certain age, I hated not being able to share. But, siblings being siblings, there were some things that I was told that if I did this, then this would happen. So I was just, okay, then I can't.
Did you ever get threatened from any of your siblings? You don't have to name names.
Yes.
To not tell us something?
Yes.
And how did that make you feel?
Traumatized me as a child. Well, I was so young, and they would tell me that they would never talk to me again, or they would cut the heads off my Barbies or something, or they would threaten to tell you guys about maybe something I lied about, but it's just silly stuff like that.
So some of our reactions were a little hyperbolic.
Yeah, I would say that sometimes reactions to certain things. Yes, I understand from a parent perspective, it's crazy, like, need to get to the bottom of it.
Okay, who's more explosive, Mom or I?
It depends on the situation.
Can we both bring it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's scarier when they bring it?
Mom, because it happens less often. Not saying I'm not saying dad that you get mad a lot, but I've experienced less of mom getting.
Yeah, my perception is between the 2 of us, and maybe this is the role I took, is I felt I needed to be a discipliner. And I also felt for a long time Mom was way too soft on you guys, and we've argued about this for years. Yeah. And it was funny, as you got older, it's sort of reversed a little bit. And then when mom blows up, I'm like, oh my gosh, the nuclear switch has just gone off.
Yeah, now that we're older, Mom definitely blows up more.
Why do you laugh about it?
Because sometimes you bring it so hard in the paint, I'm like, wow.
It's kind of comical. I love how even we have sports references about my anger. Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I guess maybe I'm just less guarded now and I just let things fly.
I think also now we're all older.
And so
You literally, all your children are adults.
Well, I think that too, the frustration that we both have, but you have it a little bit more often because there's things around the house that really get you fired up when the kids as adults don't take care of.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what I was going to say. Now that we're adults, it's stuff around the house, especially because sometimes when work gets a little stressful, everything that's a little bit out of place sometimes can trigger you. And
I
especially
like
with their
things a
dads.
certain way.
Yeah, and when they're
And
not a certain way and exterior things are already bothering you, then
You guys like get together and be like, okay, mom's about to lose it, so we need to clean the kitchen.
yeah, you should see our sibling group chat.
Well, no, let's talk about this because Mom and I talk about this. Share it with the audience, and you can share as much detail as you want. So I think you guys have a Snapchat about us and a sibling group chat about us.
Our Snapchat group chat is called S&J's Creations. And that Snapchat group chat is mostly us sending pictures of either our deceased pet, Molly, RIP, or us making fun of you. And our texting sibling group chat, that's when we talk about anything. But our Snapchat one, not to say that we make fun of you guys a lot, but
You do.
it's-
Lots of pictures.
all of our memories is probably all pictures of you guys with filters on or sleeping.
Oh.
There's lots of mom and dad on the couch falling asleep with their mouth open.
Yeah.
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 So what is something that you feel if you end up being a parent in the future that you want to not emulate that we have done? And what is something that you would want to emulate that we have done as parents?
Nothing comes to mind that I wouldn't want to emulate. I would say that there's a lot of stuff that you guys do that I would. Like, one thing that jumps out to me is you guys both get super into each one of your kids' passion, especially you, Dad. I feel like one of the ways where even say you're either one of you are busy with work or you're traveling or in Arizona. You said when I got into Formula One, you got into Formula One, and it's just stuff like that. You guys get it super into our passions, and you guys have both always, at least for me, been super into my schoolwork, and I thrive off of I wouldn't say I love school, but I thrive in an educational environment. So, and you guys understand that about your kids, and I feel like you guys hone in on those certain aspects of your kids, and that's how you really connect with them. And I feel that's something I've always wanted to be able to do if I have kids of my own, to be able to get in their passions. And you guys are just very involved, but not smothering. You guys are involved in as much as you let you be involved, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I like
You guys
that.
don't push it, especially with me. Not random example. I'm not the biggest hugger,
No, you are not.
but
And who is here?
both of you guys actually.
Dad's a
The
big
dad,
I'd hug everyone if I could.
but it's stuff like that. Like, you ask it before you give me a hug, and it's little things like that. You each have a great understanding of each one of your kids that I
Yeah.
envy and hope to have as a parent.
Oh,
High five, Jay.
thank you for that, honey.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that Mom and I also wanted to do is to have a home that felt welcoming and safe. And although it had its rules, it wasn't anything goes. We also wanted to have a place that you and your friends would want to come and stay and hang out. How was that manifested for you? And is that something that is present?
I would say that since I can remember, there's always been people in and out of this house, our friends, especially the boys. And Jackson has had the same group of friends since, seventh grade?
Mhm.
I remember those boys always being in our house and just sitting in our kitchen, even without Jackson or Quinn in there. And I just feel that's something that we're also, not that we overlook, but we kind of take advantage of because we're so used to it, but how comfortable people are in our house. Our neighbor, who is one of my best friends forever, just got engaged, was telling my parents all about her now fiance.
While we were laying in bed.
Yeah, while they were laying in bed. And I feel that's not a lot of things that friends and parents would want to. Not saying that parents don't want to get to know their friends, but sometimes parents aren't super into getting to know their kids' friends, but you guys are just as much into getting to know our friends as
I will say Mom and I were laughing that we were in our bedroom in bed and that we had this awesome conversation with you and your friends sitting on our bed. And for me, that was a really special moment.
Yeah, and it's little moments like that that I am always very grateful for that we have in this home. And for my birthday, when all my college friends came, they all were like, that was so much fun, that your house is so chill and such a fun environment. So I was just like, it's always fun, especially when you bring new people in, for them to experience that.
Mom and I have really always tried to incorporate our friends as well into the family. How do you feel when we bring our adult friends? I think we've done that forever and want you kids to interact.
I'm not saying this in a negative way. You started it off by, when we were younger, forcing us to interact with these people. Not saying that you didn't want to, but you guys were having a friend over for dinner. You guys were like, we're having our friend over. You guys have to be there for dinner. And especially you, Dad, you've always been the type to say we're out somewhere and you see someone you know, you'll be like, hey, kids, you guys have to come meet this person. So I feel like you guys have always been the type to just get the ball rolling on that stuff. So we're so used to being social with adults. And I feel like when we're everywhere and you guys know somebody and you guys always force us. Not when I say force, I don't mean like negatively. You guys encourage us to go introduce ourselves, go talk to us so that we have that ability to do that when we're older. And I feel that makes it easier for us to interact with your friends. And also you guys surround yourself with some pretty great people.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you.
So we're going to do some quick fire questions and you have to answer it
Okay.
with the first thing that comes to mind.
Okay.
As much as you can.
Okay.
What is one of the loudest memories you have of our family?
Loudest? Oh, gosh.
Or is there a loud time of year?
Yeah.
I would say the loudest time of year that I've experienced in a very long time was winter break this year. Because I went from being in that tiny little dorm room with my one roommate to being back with a full house of 6 of us, the dog, the cats, everybody. And that's when all of our friends came back to visit. We had our Christmas party that we always have. I just remember it was go, go, go. We were always doing stuff. So I would say the holiday season is when anytime the whole brew crew is together.
Did you feel as a kid that we went on a lot of vacations?
Yes.
Favorite spot?
Aruba.
Yes, that's true.
That's my favorite place in the whole world.
Do you feel us traveling a lot with you kids makes you more open to travel, comfortable in different cities?
Yeah, I feel like it makes us more comfortable. And especially I feel when we're older, we're going to be able to travel on our own.
Just my next question was, would you be open to traveling alone now?
Yeah, I would be. Think I'd be able to, especially because I've traveled a lot solo with just my dad. So I feel
Another benefit of being the youngest.
yeah. And so I feel I've especially experienced extra travel time.
All right. Most ridiculous thing we ever did as a sports parent?
When Mom used to run along the sidelines with me when I ran cross country.
You hated
I
that?
hated that so much because I already didn't really like running, and I was like, Mom, stop. I don't want everyone to know that you're my mom.
Everyone knew where I belonged. I was right there. One word to describe your place in the family.
Personality.
Okay.
Okay. What is the best sibling drama you watched but didn't get involved in?
When Jackson and Kenzie used to live together.
Oh, yeah, that was
Best sibling drama I've ever watched unfold and never got involved once.
That's good. It's good.
your go-to response when people underestimate you.
Can I say it?
Okay. You know what's so funny is when Mom and I, if we go back to when we were early parents, I think we would have absolutely freaked out if one of our kids would have just sworn like that. Why was that, you think?
We would have freaked out about a lot of things that happened
Yeah.
in our house. One word to describe your dad.
Ambitious.
One word to describe your mom.
Determined.
Interesting. The first of the Ahrens children to be on the show. Here's a couple things. We're going to put it out there.
Yeah.
What is one question for each of your siblings you want us to ask them?
Ooh. I want you to ask them if they have any specific favorite sibling memory, because I want to hear what they all have to say.
Specifically about you.
No, not just about me, but just if they have any of all 4 of us together.
Okay.
Because I have one. Well, I remember this is where we used to go to. This is exciting because we're going back to South Haven this summer.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
South Haven, Michigan. Everyone's one of our favorite family vacations ever.
I highly recommend it. But what I was going to say is when Mackenzie was finally old enough to take all of us to Captain Nemo's by herself, I remember that was some of my favorite memories ever, is the four of us walking from our condo to downtown to get ice cream. I remember that. I thought that was the greatest thing in the world, that we didn't have mom or dad there and that we could just walk around.
All right, so what's one thing you wish we'd known back then that you know now?
Everything's going to work out. No matter what happens, everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be fine.
And we may cut this part out, but tell me, what is one of the saddest, challenging times we've had as a family? And what is one of the best times we've had as a family?
I would say the most challenging time as a family, when we lost Molly.
Mm-hmm.
That was really tough because it was tough to see how it affected each of us differently. And especially for us kids, we had never really experienced a loss before.
And this was our dog.
This was our dog, yes. And it was hard seeing how much it affected the family and how it affected us differently. And I also would say last year was pretty tough too.
It was a stressful year.
Yeah. And I think it was more so tough because not that you guys were trying to hide it, but you guys were trying to keep calm and carry on while
Sure, yeah.
a shitstorm was going on. And I feel that, especially because we were older, we all knew what was going on, but we knew that you guys didn't want to. So I think that was it. But I feel like this year's been pretty great.
This year's been awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like we've had a pretty great year as a family, you know. Quinn's a national champion. Jackson's a graduate. I finished my first year at school. Kenzie's almost a teacher.
We got Koopy.
Yo, yeah, we got Koopy. It's been a
So
great
good.
year.
Boy, Ava, thanks for being the first. This won't be your last episode, but this is your introductory to the Running Ahrens podcast.
Oh,
Anything
yeah.
you want to tell the audience?
Keep listening. It'll get
Ooh.
more exciting. I actually can't wait to hear my other siblings' episodes.
Awesome.
I'm also excited for Quinn's.
Yes, and all of our listeners, stay tuned for a new podcast that's going to be coming out soon.
That we're producing it. So here it is. Here's your first commercial. This is unpracticed.
It's called Ava's Arena. It's my podcast. I'm studying sports journalism at the University of Iowa, so I decided to get things kick-started and start a podcast where I interview athletes and get the stories behind who they are and what doesn't make the highlight reel, stuff like that. So yeah, stay tuned.
Oh, you know what I'm going to do
Coming up.
right after this? Right here. I'm going to play your intro to your show.
Oh.
Okay. There you have it, people. There you have it. This is Ava's Arena, where sports get personal. I'm Ava Ahrens, athlete, storymaker, and your host. Every episode, we move beyond the scoreboard and into the lives of who live it. Because behind every athlete, there is a story. And this is where it comes to life. Join me from the front row.
Thanks so much for joining us on this episode of Running Ahrens. We truly love having these conversations and sharing them with all of you.
If something resonated with you today, we'd be so grateful if you'd rate and review the show. It helps more people find us.
And if you know someone who'd connect with this episode, send it their way. You never know who might just need to hear it.
We'd also love to hear from you, your feedback, your stories, or even topics you'd like us to tackle next.
You can connect with us on our personal socials, the show's Facebook page, or through the website, runningahrens.today. And links are always in the show notes.
Until next time, keep showing up, stay kind, and remember,
Life's the long run, and the best way forward is together.